Hello, and welcome to episode 30 of the Tech Team Podcast, where Black excellence and tech meet. I'm Janita.
I'm C. Jones.
Ricks 252. And like, share, subscribe, comment.
Now.
Yes.
Send your friends to subscribe.
Please.
Get your mama, your daddy, your sister, your uncle, get everybody to subscribe.
Everybody you know, just have them create a YouTube account for us. And just, go straight to Tech Team. They can abandon it after that.
Please don't.
Look at us. I'm joking. Look at us. See us. But
cookies.
Anyway, how are y'all doing this week?
I'm good. Just got back from North Carolina. Seeing the family, so that was fun.
I love that.
It was a good long weekend, man. Family, friends, always keeping me busy. Get some good rest in the house though, so needed that.
I love it.
Good rest of the weekend, yeah.
I love it. Well, hopefully everybody, what was that, last week had a good MLK Day.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully you got to recognize him in your own way, whether that be through service, moment of reflection, anything of the sort. Of course, we mentioned it on our last pod too, but got to shout it out again. Anyway, and on the heels of that, now we are staring at Black History Month, which will be starting in a few days.
Yep.
So we're going to push some of the themes, if you will, of Black History Month up just a couple of days to get us in the right mood.
Get you ready for it.
You know?
Yeah.
And so today, what we are kind of talking about is a bit of the four energies of success. So even when we look at Black History Month and all the things that we've done, it's not just about what we've accomplished, but some of the keys in order to accomplish it, which a lot of that comes in endurance, and making sure that you actually are in the right flow of what you need to be doing. And of course, having things like vision, direction, all of those things. And so just giving us a little bit of like hey, let's sit back and chat about some of these things, which we call kind of like the four energies of success.
And what are those four energies?
So I could talk about the first energy. That first energy is hustle. I think I wore this the marathon clothing shirt, my man Nipsey Hussle, rest in peace.
R.I.P.
Hustle. But hustle is your drive, your execution, your pressure that you apply to certain things and certain initiatives, right? So it's the energy most of us we know best. It's that discipline. It's showing up when quitting will be easier, and it's just staying dedicated to your goals, your passions, your podcast, your work, your family, your kids, everything around it. So, and I think for Black Americans, historically has been about survival in a sense too. So it's bootstrapping our own businesses, our own brands, boosting up just each other, and just outside on that court on a cold day, putting up shots, little things like that. So that's what that hustle and that energy is for me.
Yeah, I mean, I think hustle is inherently embedded in us through our ancestors. Tying it back to Black History Month, our ancestors had to hustle and execute and grind, even though they were getting beat and whipped most of the time.
Well, that's a portion of our history, not all of our history.
It was kings first.
It
was kings first.
The most recent that I remember that we talk about every day in America, they had to hustle. Right. And to your point, even further back, and when we had the pharaohs and the kings, they all had to hustle and execute and have that drive. Right. So it's really in our DNA that we have that mentality. We just gotta do it, take action.
Yeah. But, it's interesting. I was going to push back before this, but I was like, no, I'll save it for the pod. But like the, interesting thing about hustle culture and how like some people can misinterpret hustle to mean like break yourself to the bone. Where I do think in instances it can be that, but I think it's acknowledging where that's appropriate and where it might not be. Meaning, right, you might be in a state of hustle as we've come to know it, which is like you work hard, you push through everything. And I do think for things that you are heading up yourself, things that maybe you are starting on your own, there has to be a recognition of effort to result, right, that you want to get out. And so you can't necessarily want something at a high caliber and not give it a high caliber worth of effort, right? Or a high caliber work. But there's also this thing where it's like, everything doesn't require a hustle to necessarily have drive or execution or, some sort of pressure built underneath it.
I look at hustle as a tool and not your identity, right? So many people, I'm a hustler. I'm like,
I'm a hustler, baby.
I'm a hustler. I'm a hustler, homie, right? But if you look at hustling as a tool and not your identity, it's a part of you and part of how you become great. It's not your whole existence, right? So a lot of us have hustled to the burnout phase, right? When we've hustled so hard, we burn ourselves out and we don't have any opportunity to do any of the other three energies, right? The vision, the other things that we're going to talk about coming up. And so hustling doesn't have to be your only approach.
Right.
It's not the only thing. That's the only thing you need to put energy in. It's just one piece of the puzzle.
Yeah, and I don't hustle at everything, right? But I do look back at being in college. Like I hustled in college.
Okay.
Like, those times you want to give up and quit is like you just kind of put your back against the wall and hustle for that. And then grad school was that. Then you get into the workforce. So it's different things you hustle. And you hustle on your family too, to make sure that they have the clothes, shoes, the food, and the knowledge that they have too. It's hustling around them. I think it's so many different aspects. You can look at the word hustle. But as long as you're going for that end result and that goal, your hustle is your hustle.
Yeah, so I thought it'd be funny. I was like, I looked up this kind of street definition of hustle just to see the pieces, right, that we might be able to pull out. So in this, web definition, if you will, hustle refers to any creative, high energy, often illicit or semi-legal, which is not what we're talking about here, activity to generate income to ensure survival outside of your traditional 9 to 5. It's defined by relentless dedication, resourcefulness, and the grind to make money. And so it was interesting because when I pulled it up, I do think it is, though, that relentless dedication that people can drive to of like, hey, on the days you don't want to, do it.
Yeah.
On the days you're not sure, do it. On the days where you're not clear what step 1 is, just do a step and you may find out later step 4 or you got the right step 1. Who knows?
Yeah. That's what we talked about in episode 28, discipline over motivation, right?
Yes.
Discipline is doing it when you don't feel like it, right? When you don't feel like getting out of the bed when it's 32 degrees and you got to go to the gym, the discipline takes over your motivation because you're motivated to go. But if you have the discipline, you do it when you don't want to.
Yeah. And I initially didn't tie the word hustle to money, but it all makes sense when you give us that description, that definition. But the hustle, well, I'm going to ask you guys first. I already have my answers, but what hustle do you see in people today that they're putting things to? Anything specific?
I mean, I see a lot in Atlanta, just a lot of people, Black people our age, above and below, hustling to get their businesses started. A lot of small businesses and a lot of great ideas come out of Atlanta. And we see the groundwork and the people doing it every single day. All of our friends, family people, even don't live in Atlanta, but we see it in Atlanta because we're so connected to the ecosystem here. So yeah, every day I'm hearing about somebody starting an app, starting a business,
1,000%.
got an idea that they're like, I need to go get it so I can get out of corporate America and start my own.
Well, see, even more of what I've seen is not just the ideating, but the real hustle behind it of people who have, I guess I'll give it a shout out. So there's a Spades app, Blacker, that is being developed, and my homegirl told me about it and actually asked if I wanted to invest in it. I want to say 3 years ago, and I just saw that they had their first really big launch event. And so it's even things like that where you see things, you kind of step away, you may not hear about them, but to then see this, kind of larger event having a big Spades tournament on the app in person, I'm like, that is really cool to see,
Yeah, so it's funny. So I go ahead.
All right, so I have a great example. There was this company that had an idea for a podcast last year, and now they're episode 30. Now they're episode 30.
Now they're episode 30.
So I'm glad you called it out because I definitely had number one as we have so many business owners, as I see, just not here in Atlanta, but just across the nation in general. I see so many venture capitalists, and this is something I had on my playbook some years ago, is actually starting my own VC firm. So that's part of my 10-year goals. More home ownership. So I think we're hustling towards some different things. It's just people have that want, that need, and they just that desire. Go get it.
Yeah, I would say the last thing too is people trying to actually hustle in learning, which is maybe a different way of looking at it. But I do feel like people are now understanding, especially around our age, more than some of the folks who were early, but trying to understand oh, I really need to keep an ear to investments and the best place to put my money, because I do think now, which makes sense, right? Retirement, things like, okay, I'm sick of this shit. How do I compound my money a bit quicker so when the time comes, I can see life basically maintaining what I have right now, or at least for me and some of the considerations, and even, maybe for y'all, it's we are actually coming up on our heaviest earning years. Over the next probably 10 to 15 years will be the most money that we'll make. And after that, it's not necessarily going to get higher because hopefully we don't have necessarily as much incoming money versus our money making money. And so I do think it's a big time where people now are like, okay, how do I, well, at least for me, I'll speak for myself. I'm kind of like, okay, how do I cap out my lifestyle to exactly where it is right now? Because this is, if I'm very honest, like this is very comfortable. I do not need more. Would I want more? Sure. But I can have that in trips, and experiences where I think is more valuable than like material things to have with me. But I do see that a lot more, at least in my circle.
So we got the first energy being hustle, the second one being flow. So flow is more related to your creativity, to that joy, to that passion.
Just being one with yourself. And connecting with yourself. Maybe.
Connecting with yourself, connecting with things outside of work, right? Your career, right? I do a lot of creative things that aren't associated with anything in my career. Like I make beats on my little beat machine.
Oh, they be coloring.
I actually did order a color book. I actually did.
I love that.
I'm trying to. So this is part of it. This year I'm trying to do more things that don't involve me looking at a screen. Right. So to be more creative, get my mind out off of screens. Coloring was one thing. So I used to do an adult coloring book, and then I gave up on it. But that's another. It's helping me reach another goal: finishing things I start.
What's an adult coloring book?
It's just more advanced.
Yeah.
Not like adult content.
Lions and unicorns and you doing
it's
sunsets
not
and beats like
X-rated.
I'm so used to not X-rated coloring book. But that's
No.
Hey,
The pages would get sticky. Absolutely not. Some people are weird.
Right. I'm green. Anyway.
No, it's more intricate coloring than a kid could do.
Right. You're not coloring rainbows and horses and stuff. Yeah.
And so I thought about this this energy, this flow. I thought about trying to make the Black History Month. I thought about all the artists, the entertainers, even athletes in some cases, right? You think about like, is it Gene or is it John Michael Basquiat? John, right? So he passed away in 1988, but a lot of his works and his energy and his creativity put into his artwork is still, it's probably worth more than it was when he was alive.
It definitely is.
Yeah.
They weren't selling for millions when he was alive. Which is wild.
So I think about like that. I think about what Ryan Coogler is doing with movies and just the writing. It's so much more that we still have untapped in the brain. And I'm that person, like we've only tapped into like the 10% of our brain. We have so much more brain power to use, and it kind of goes against AI, but I still think we're still a little bit stronger than the AI tools in my.
I mean, we are, right? Because by design, we still made AI. The vision to even have something that has this ability came from a creative space. And right, AI, to be fair, it doesn't do new think. It just looks up things and patterns that have happened before.
Exactly.
So there's a whole realm to validate what you said, that yes, until it's created, AI can't touch it. It's not able to have unique ideas yet. And even if they do, you'd still have to somewhat prompt it and create that idea anyway, So that's interesting to have. And I think too, a lot of creativity, because some of the examples you gave were people in creative spaces. So for people who aren't in the creative space, I actually do kind of agree with you of like finding things that don't put you in a space to stare at screens or give you some free time. I'm a 65-year-old woman and I knit and crochet.
Okay, now
those are my
birthday.
Those are my little things that I do, because you have to kind of focus, but you can also get into that flow state where you're not really thinking about anything, because depending on the pattern, some patterns you have to really focus. But if you're in a space where it's like, okay, I got to do this for 100 rows, I can just kind of go in autopilot and start to think about other things and spaces to put yourself.
And a lot of us, we go back to the first energy, hustle so much, we feel we don't have time to have that creative flow, right? But that creative flow is a welcome distraction, so to speak, right? Like it allows you to like get creative and not focus on life for a little bit, right? When I'm in my beat making mode, I ain't thinking about nothing to do at work. I ain't thinking about the pod. I love y'all, but I ain't thinking about the pod. I'm thinking about how can I make this beat sound good? And it just gets me to disconnect from the world a little bit. And it helps me be even more creative in my day-to-day life.
Yeah. No, I think the flow, maybe not so much as creativity for me, but I think more so alignment and joy. Just doing things make me happy.
Yeah.
Right. I think that's where it's like I came in here, I just energetic today.
Yeah.
You know, just had again coming off of a great weekend. But that alignment piece for me would be again, I really look at how can I move my friends and my family forward. You know, I
Yeah.
don't just kind of, I don't want to be Superman by myself. I want to bring them up here with me as well. And I want to fly all over the world with everybody and, you know,
I just journaled about that last night. That's crazy you said that. I said, in order for me to reach my greatness, no, in order for me to help my family reach their greatness, I have to reach my greatness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
there
true.
you go.
Yeah,
Add it to the list. Okay,
yeah.
there it is.
So,
But I do think joy and alignment drives
Yeah.
so much
Yeah.
and like making sure that you find space. Because what I was going to say before we get to energy 3, just in a way to kind of tie it together, a part of some of that hustle is acknowledging that you need space for joy. And like, hey, if my execution is burning out, I need to have some space for flow. Especially in my space, it's like, hey, if I can still think about work and it can still be creative and joyous for me. Or even coming in here, like it dawned on me when you were like, oh, I love the pod, but like I have yet to come in here and feel like, oh, we have to fucking record today. I don't want to do this.
thank you, Lord.
Like, no, but but I think it's because this aligns with some piece of joy for me that like, oh, I get to see my guys, I get to chat, we get to, do something that we're all equally also invested in, which I think helps a lot too.
For sure.
Because it doesn't feel like a whack school project.
Now I think about it, this is my creativity.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It is. Yeah, it is. This is different. So yeah.
And I will also just on the last thought, like for joy and alignment, like pick a hobby. I feel like a lot of us don't have hobbies, right? Like we just watch TV and go to work. Pick a hobby that doesn't involve a screen.
And try them.
And try them. Try a bunch of different
Like,
hobbies.
just try it.
Some people, one of my homegirls picked up pickleball. She was like, I never thought I would be playing pickleball. And I was like, me either, but she loves it. So just pick a hobby. That'll help you bring more joy and alignment and get creative.
And even sometimes if you're like, I don't know where to start, look around your house. If there's something that you're like, hey, I wish I had a pot here. Let me maybe go take a pottery class and make it myself. Or, oh, I wish I had new backsplash. There are tons of peeling sticks that you could peel and stick and cut your way into a whole new kitchen.
Yeah,
So
we were watching the games and one of my buddies, I like, they smoke hookah. And I'm like, have you ever just thought about smoking cigars? Like, get into cigar smoking. Like, I don't know what type to get. Well, get into it and go learn. Go drink wine or something, bro. Like, it can't be hookahs and shots all the time. Like,
right.
Please, though. Please, hookahs and shots in 2025.
Listen, all right, a little PSA. If you're over 40, you're doing irreversible damage to your lungs.
Facts.
So just, think about that because it's actually like almost impossible for you to reverse that damage after a certain point. But anyway.
So, but to tie this one off around, again, what is it? We're doing flow.
Yep.
I think about the creativity and just the YouTubers and the streamers today because they're being watched and have to be creative 24/7. And I give a shout out to all the streamers who do it and all the communities. Like they're finding new ways to keep us laughing. Again, keeping us our attention span short. But I give a big shout out to them and what they're doing. So yeah, love that. Love the creativity. Keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah. And some of them don't have to be creative. They just walk around the streets and do random stuff. That's easy.
Still creative. Random is creative. Random is
Whatever
creative.
it taps into.
A little bit of both.
Very much so.
So what's the third energy?
Vision. So that's, your strategy, direction, and clarity. I feel like vision can be hard for people.
And we talked a lot about vision in a lot of episodes. So go check out the previous episodes where we talked about vision boards. We talked about goals.
But I think what can be a little pivot for this conversation is like when you're at that point of how do I have vision? Because I think we talked a lot about like how to put your plans on paper, but sometimes people are like, I don't even know where to start and how to start, or even what do I need a vision for? Like, somebody may have heard your 10-year plan and be like, I don't even know what I'm doing in the next 10 minutes. I don't have that. And I think it's like, to me, intertwining this also directly goes into your flow state of like, if you don't have time to take a break and dream, you don't really have an opportunity to even start some sort of vision for your life,
Yeah.
I think a lot of plans go into vision. I think in one essence, like if you don't know what you're doing in the next 10 minutes, a lot of times from an engineering mindset, we do a lot of reverse engineering. So I don't know, for example, say I took Barack Obama, for example, like he had to have a vision to be the first Black president, or somebody had that vision for him.
Yeah.
And it was a shared vision. But okay, I have to be president. So what are those things I have to work my way backwards to have, right? So is it military? Is it being a Senate? Is it being a lawyer? all right, cool. These things I have to work my way backwards from just to get to here.
Right.
Right. You have to reverse. A lot of the times your vision has to be reverse engineered.
1000%.
Yeah, same like we talk about with the pod. Like, all right, you want to get 1 million viewers. How you get 1? How you get 10? How you get 100, right? You might have the vision for the million, but how do you break that vision down into baby steps?
Exactly.
It's breaking the vision down into baby steps so that you can actually accomplish things over time in small bits and pieces, right?
1000%.
And so what's that saying? They say you can't, how you eat an elephant, right? Just take the first bite, right? You can't eat a whole elephant in one bite.
No,
So
or even one sitting.
Right. So it's chunk by chunk, piece by piece.
Brick by brick.
Brick by brick. Like, my goal, one of the goals, get 1% better every day. Get 1% closer to that goal every day. If I want to be a millionaire, how do I be 1,000 there first? I'll be 100 there first, right? You know what I mean? So you got to build on those foundational building blocks to get to that point.
And that's actually funny. I remember when my first salary was like 100,000. I remember that. Like, I'm 100,000 there.
Like, wow, I'm really making 6 figures. That's crazy. And then I think too that underlying key, which it's easy to say, but just to reiterate to people, is like if you can't dream it, you can't even somehow get to it. So stop wasting time on, circling the drain, if you will, on like, well, I'll never get there or whatever. It's like you have to first put in your mind positively, this is in my life, because if you can't even have that like unshakable determination in you, or actually it shouldn't even be determination, unshakable belief that you can do what may feel impossible today, but it's like, hey, at some point in my life I will have my own VC fund, and it's like that doesn't mean tomorrow, but it does mean, okay, this is what I want, and at some point I'll have the time, or it'll be a priority for me to actually find a way to get to this point in my life.
Yeah, it's one of those old sayings, right? If you believe it, you can achieve it, type of thing. And I know this particular vision stood out to me because of coming up in January, there were a lot of fraternities and sororities from the Divine Nine that just celebrated their founding days, right?
Why was everybody founded in January?
It wasn't everybody. It was only a few of us, right?
It felt like a lot, though, right?
I just felt like every day it's like Jay, whatever.
If you think about it, though, if you think about, a lot of college kids being on break during December.
Oh, they came back.
No, because to me, I would think a lot of things would start. Oh, I guess, you're doing your process. Okay.
They were thinking about it during the holidays, and they said, we're going to start it in January.
So, for like,
I guess I would think maybe August. Starting it at the top of the school.
I don't know everybody's. I just know the ones that just kind of recently passed. Starting with the, Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated, we were founded January 5th. 1911, the AKs were founded January 15th, the Deltas were founded January 13th, so a lot of those days were just very monumental. It's kind of just fell in our place like that. Yeah. I'm pretty sure I'm missing somebody in that regard, but no love lost charged my mind, my heart.
But to your point, they had vision. The founders of that,
exactly.
that was their vision.
That's what I take away.
Could they have imagined 100 years later?
I'm sure they could not have.
Right? Like, we are our ancestors' wildest dreams, I keep saying, right? And it's like, when they founded that fraternity or sorority, incorporated it, they never would have probably imagined 100 plus years later it would be a global phenomenon.
I mean, not only that, but like your names are down in infamy. Like having that level of remembrance is I doubt that they went into it with that thought, but to have that ability to say like, hey, whatever your first founding numbers are, that anybody that joins this organization going forward will know my name, will likely know my face, will know a little bit about me.
But it's also that vision around like what was going on at those times. You were talking about the early 1900s, and a group of African Americans on college campuses starting organizations that just again grew to what it is today. So
And last thing on vision, right? Like every single thing on this planet was someone's vision. Everything was someone's idea. Literally every product is someone's idea, right? Go ahead.
My favorite way to say it is everything is made up, and don't ever forget that.
Yeah.
Everything is made up. Everything is made up.
It is.
Money is made up. Society, like how we run, everything is made up.
See, now I got to talk about the tech, right? So we grew up watching Back to the Future.
Right.
Yeah.
All these things in Back to the Future, bro, like there's so many different things that are still being released. It's like, just go watch that in the Terminator. I hate to say it that way, but it's like it's all here.
Yeah.
The microwaves, the shoes, the clothes, the instantaneous features of everything is here.
Yeah.
It's like it's just funny how that
and
happens.
they thought that 30 years ago
Right,
in a
exactly.
movie,
Right,
right?
probably longer than that with the
Yeah.
books.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. And it was
Yeah.
just a creative idea
Exactly.
that someone then
Yeah.
executed on. But it was made up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just remember that.
Yeah.
Everything's made up.
Yeah.
Everything's
So,
made up,
Yeah.
and your vision could be the next big thing,
Yeah.
so or not. But
Yeah.
it could just keep going, keep trying.
Yeah.
mhm.
Take action
Yeah.
on these visions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And to put this to rest, that last
Great segue.
our last energy 4 is rest, and that's that reflection,
My favorite one.
recharging, wisdom. So yeah, let's talk about rest.
I reflect more than I do any of these other 4 energies. I rest and reflect a lot, and that's been my goal for the year so far. Is just reflecting
Mm-hmm.
and resting and not feeling so overwhelmed that I got to do so much all the time. Like I feel like I always got something to do. It's also because I procrastinate and don't get stuff done. So if I got it done, maybe I won't feel like I had to do it. But anyway, that's a whole other conversation. But resting and reflecting has been key to my sanity for years, and even more so now. So I highly recommend resting, reflecting, understanding what has happened in the past, and taking time to just chill.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah,
I
so,
mean,
yeah.
well, one of the key things here that we have under this is also wisdom.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes, like what wisdom means, and this is my own personal definition, it's like, it's never about what you know or what you learn. It's about what you've seen other people do and applying that to your life. So you don't have to like gain your own set of wisdom. So, in that lane of, hey, if we're going to be successful, it's okay to look and study what other people have done and walk that same path.
Yeah.
Like it's kind of silly to decide to try and muck things up for yourself. And I do think that comes in rest, is like sitting down and saying, let me reflect not just on myself, but what have other people done? Like, what have other people done to make, again, this is me kind of talking about some of the things I've had where it's like, okay, if I see other brands, not even necessarily beauty brands, just brands in general, I'm doing case studies now of like, okay, where did they start? How did they start? What was their first, mini break? Then what got them their big break? How did that happen? Because I don't have to reinvent the wheel. Like if they say, hey, never go into shoe stores, obviously I wouldn't, but it's like never go into shoe stores because of X, Y, and Z. I'm not going to say, hey, I might be the first to defy whatever this issue. No, I'm not going to go in shoe stores. You know what I mean? And so I do think under this umbrella, outside of some of the obvious things, is also connecting that to times of like wisdom and learning.
And a lot for us as co-founders and CEOs, I watch a podcast or listen to it on NPR called How I Built This. And it's literally him interviewing founders and CEOs of billion-dollar or multi-million-dollar companies.
Podcast.
And they tell you their story. And that's the wisdom. Like they literally tell you how they got it out the mud, most of them, right? And had an idea and built it from scratch. And now it set them up for life and their family for life and created generational wealth. So wisdom is key for real.
And a lot of those things aren't secret. Like I think a lot of people want someone to tell them each step, but if you actually look, it's there.
Yeah.
And the reason why it's there is because not many people choose to take the path to execute and like take the time to do what's needed, but it's out there.
Yep.
Yeah. So and that resting for me is more so just resetting, right? It's a reset. And I look at it from a standpoint like, we go to the gym, we read, we write, we do so much, and our brain is a muscle, our bodies are muscles. If you keep going to a point of exhaustion, you will shut down and you're going to lose more time trying to recover. So give yourself time, give your brain self time, give your ideas time to just what is it, fester, right? And then you come back, walk away from it, come back a little bit, and attack it from a different angle. So that I love to just kind of reset and just reflect on myself, like you mentioned, and then just try to do it better the next time.
And that recharge always goes back to those tech examples they give of like, if you're walking around with 10% on your phone and that thing dies all the time or at the most inconvenient spots, like it's not helpful for you. Like imagine going somewhere and now all of a sudden, because you've left your battery on 10%, you don't know which way to go because don't nobody know how to get anywhere without their maps, right? So now you're just stuck and you have to sit and wait until your phone recharges to a point that you can use it again. But likely it's not enough again to get you through your day. So you're having to start.
Yeah.
Versus saying, hey, I'm going to make sure this thing is at 100%, knowing I have a busy couple of days so I can let this thing run down, but I won't have moments that I'll need to kind of start again. So
yeah, I saw a quote that tied the rest and wisdom. It said, rest is where wisdom catches up to effort. right? So that just means like when it resonated with me because when I rest, I have my most like profound thoughts. When I'm tired, I'm not thinking of how to be the best version of myself. But when I'm resting and reflecting and thinking, all those that wisdom comes up like just naturally because I'm real rested. So I like that quote.
Yeah, it's funny, man. I kind of want to steer a little bit differently right now. I tell my grandmothers to rest all the time, right? In the sense of like they put in so much work and dedication for the family, right? So they've hustled, they've been creative, they've they've had a strategy and direction for the family. Now like it's like their time to rest.
Yeah,
like it's just let me or let us. Right. If you want something, you want to go somewhere, just open your mouth and say it. Like, we're not asking for anything. Just let us know what you want. It's your time for us to take care of you. And I kind of treat your work and things like that too. Like, give it time to rest. You can take care of it and take care of yourself.
That's a part of resting. No one want to ask for help because we feel like we got to do so much and we can't. We don't have the help to get us to where we need to. But when you ask for the help, it relieves you of the pressure and stress of trying to get all these things done.
To be honest, that's a bit of everything. Like, if you really want to hustle and hustle well, get help.
Yeah, you need a team.
Like, I literally actually had a call this morning with somebody to help set up our U.S. entity. He was like, well, what all do you need? I said, everything. I don't want to do any of this. Like,
Everything.
I'm going to send you the list, and as much as you can do, please do it. Like, I don't want to have to pick and choose on, no, do it all so I don't have to worry about that. But then that'll get us where we need to go faster because... Again,
I struggle with that. I struggle with ask for help because I just want to do it myself. But it's something we all.
I don't believe in that. I hate that, man. I hate that you. You
I do too.
Yeah,
I mean, that comes down to control.
Exactly, and professionalism. All the things that I'm working on.
But we're not meant to go through this life alone. I don't think we're meant to do anything alone. Honestly,
we aren't.
You can do anything alone and be successful.
Yeah, I agree. So
I challenge it. Come to me. Tell me what you can do by yourself.
All right. Y'all heard that, right?
Oh, yeah. Let's hear it.
I was working on this stuff.
Please.
No, I did actually ask you for help for this. Remember, for the pod, I was like, I need you to project manage us because I can't do that and everything else that I think we need to do. And you did it. You was like, bro, y'all got that's easy work. So it's a struggle for me to ask for, but it always works out every time I do. So exactly. Yeah. So
that's how it
goes. Thank you, brother.
Love you, man. Love you, bro.
Well, sequentially, just remember, hustle builds, flow sustains, vision guides you, and your rest will renew you. So let's definitely take that into, feeling empowered in our upcoming month of us, if you will.
Black History Month, baby.
A little bit of pumping up our chests as we go into the month. But yeah, anything that you guys want to say to get us out of here?
Black History Month, I'm going to say Black is Love.
Oh, wow. Black is love.
I love it. Shoot, you shouldn't have said that out loud. We should put it on some merch for this month. Oh, no, I love it.
I'm going to try to have balance between these four energies because just talking through it with y'all, I realize I might be hustling too much and not resting enough. I'm resting too much and not flowing enough. So finding the balance between the hustle and the flow and the vision and the rest is my goal.
I'll always be your guidance of grace here. Give yourself grace because some seasons require for those to be in balance actually in order for you to have what you need. So like I said with the battery, it's like you work yourself to 100% in rest because I can't rest for another month or two. Like I have to get to it. I'm in a season of hustle and I cannot slow down versus what it sounds like you're in right now is like you need moments to rest so you can probably rev yourself up to the rest. And so don't get too down on yourself about it ever being in balance. Just more be aware of like, all right, I've been reflecting for quite some time.
Get back on the hustle.
Yeah.
Let's go.
So with that, y'all like, share, subscribe. Mainly subscribe. Please subscribe.
Please go.
Please
subscribe. Share with 10 of your friends. Get them to subscribe. And with that, we'll see y'all next Tuesday.
See you guys.
Love y'all.
Peace.